Today's a very special day. It's my master's birthday. Shri Ravi Shankar. It's his 59th birthday, and it's being celebrated all over the world because it's very rare to have a living master. Most often the masters that we follow, like Jesus and Buddha and Krishna, are masters that lived a long time ago and have gone now. So to have a master that you believe in, or is guiding you, who is actually alive, is a very rare opportunity. People get are very skeptic about, the whole word, or the whole idea of a master, the word guru, especially in India, because you have all kinds of people claiming to be saints and claiming to be leaders, and buying their Mercedes and Rolls Royces as they go along. And then you have the real masters. So how do you find your master, and why do you even meet the master? You can get to your destination. You can get into your car and you drive, and you can take a left turn and a right turn, and just follow your instinct. If you get lost, it'll take you a while, but you might get to where you have to go. But if you have GPS, you'll just get there a lot faster. The GPS will guide you. It'll tell you when to turn right, when to turn left. It won't actually go through the journey with you, but it'll just guide you, right? You still have to turn right, and you still have to turn left, and you still have to go straight down. You still have to do all those things to get to your destination. That's what a master does, and a master has always done. And sometimes it's very frustrating because people will come and see Shri and they'll ask him, "Oh, what's the purpose of life?" And he'll give some evasive answer. Because he's not there, and no master is there to tell you exactly what it is. The second thing is, he really doesn't know. Because each one of us has got something totally different that we bring to this life. No two people, not even in the same family, even if they belong to the same family, they won't have the same destiny. They won't be here for the same reasons. They won't be here to find the same purpose. So if my purpose is to find how to serve a community, yours might be to discover forgiveness, and yours might be to control your anger, and yours might be to be focused. Each one of us has got something else that we need to discover in our lives. So how can any master give you a straight answer and say what the purpose of life is? And you want an answer in 3 sentences? People have spent lifetimes to try and reach where he is now. Lifetimes. They've been born again and again and again, and they're all trying to discover the same thing. Every one of us, at some point in our lives, we ask these universal questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What is this world? Is it going to answer all the queries that I have? Is there something else? What do I need to do to find those answers in my life? How do I find peace? We all come and ask those questions, and if we don't, then we just keep getting born again and again and again till we reach a stage that we start asking questions. And that is when we seek a master, because it's not easy to do this on your own. You need a little help. You need a little help to say that, how do you find that star that you're looking for? The master will say, you see that tree? Just go 4 centimeters to the right and look straight ahead. That's where it is. That's what he's doing for you. He is not living your life. But a lot of people confuse the master as a god. Just like they made Jesus into a god, and they made Krishna into a god, and they made all the other great, Buddha into a god, and all the other great saints, they make them into gods because people need gods. They need someone superhuman. They need someone to think that someone has got all the power and that they can get something from them. It's very difficult to understand that the power is really within you. It's the same power that is within the master, no doubt. But it's the same power that resides in you. But you don't understand that. And neither do you know how to access that power and to unleash it. You need the master to help you to get there. You need the master to guide you into meditation, to teach you about the knowledge, to be able to apply that knowledge. You need a master, and you will seek till you find that master, or the master will find you. Either way, it's like the law of attraction. If you seek, you will receive. You will find someone. And you don't know sometimes that you've been longing to have someone show you the way. But when that person presents himself or herself, you say, this was what I was waiting for all my life. And it could be just the social worker next door or the psychiatrist who becomes your master. It doesn't have to be somebody, who's the head of a church or a temple or anyone else. The important thing is that once you discover who your master is, you stay with that path and carry on through your journey. You stop the shopping once you discover what is happening. Because if you try a little meditation from here, a little bit of something else from there, a little bit of something, you kind of remain at that basic level. Instead, if you pick a method of meditation and you go deep into it, your journey will advance much, much faster, much, much deeper, a lot quicker. A lot quicker. So what a lot of people do is that they shop around. And that's fine, as long as you're looking for a good car. But it doesn't help you, you don't get to Seattle if you keep testing, all the cars in the parking lot. You got to pick one and get going. And then let the GPS guide you. Thinking of the Guru as the God. Is what most people do. Mainly because they don't realize that it's the message and not the man that is so important. Even in what Jesus said, even in what Buddha said, the way they live their lives and what they learned and what they speak is far more important than the person. The person is there for a few years and then gone. What lives on is the message. But what do we do instead? We take the person and we build temples for them and churches. And if today Jesus came back, he would be pulled in so many different directions, because there are about 60 different types of churches from one man's teaching. The evangelists and the Protestants and the Catholics and you've got 100 different dimensions, and all he said was just love yourself and love everybody else. And that was his basic message. And 100 years from now, there will be a temple for Sri Sri, and we will all be going there and looking at the statue and praying to it. And if we don't do Sudarshan Kriya, you'll be ostracized. Rules will all change in 100 years from now. Who knows? Right now, the message is much more important. So what does the Guru do for you? He mirrors what you want to be. He is that which you aspire to be. A person who is capable of smiling through everything, who doesn't let anybody or anything affect him, who is not affected by any situation, any person, because he's just empty and hollow. He's pure consciousness. So anything that you say to him goes in through him and out into consciousness. Whereas what do? Normal people, you and me, we hold on to all our problems and then we zing everything with those emotions, and that scars us and that makes us so much more vulnerable. It creates impressions within us. Those impressions are not created in a guru, in an enlightened person, because they understand and they've reached such a stage in the evolution of the soul that it just goes through them and into pure consciousness. The Guru will never judge you. You need never be scared to go in front of the master and say, you know what, I smoke cigarettes, or I do drugs, or I'm a killer. Because it doesn't matter. The master still sees the divine light in you. And I've seen this because I interviewed one person for my book, and if you read this book and see the chapter, I think it's on desires, I'm not very sure which chapter I've put it in. Prison Smart, it's on the program which deals with prisoners. He was a man from Denmark. He was heavily into drugs, and as a result he was a bouncer for a criminal gang and had also killed people. But you'll see the progression at what happens to him. But he comes to the path and he learns to breathe, he learns to do the breathing, and he learns to do the meditation. And then the first time round it doesn't work. He does it again. And the second time it hits home. And he gives up that life and devotes his entire life to helping criminals. He only works with criminals in the prison system. He has prisoners coming to his house. And I ask him, I say, do you ever get nervous about so many criminals in your home? And he says, you'd be surprised. I've not lost $1 in my home when I was running those courses in my house. He says, you don't understand, they're all victims. They're all victims of circumstance. They made one bad mistake and nobody showed them the way to their own consciousness. Nobody showed them the divine light that exists within them. They didn't know how to access it. So once you teach them, there's an aha moment. And enlightened people, they don't judge you. You never need to be frightened or say, oh my God, what's he going to do to me? What's he going to say to me? What if I do something wrong? Is he going to... If someone is judging you for that, then that level of enlightenment is much less than we thought it was. A truly enlightened person is not bothered, not by fame or success. He knows or she knows that abundance is his or her birthright, and it will come. The rest of us fret about it. When is it going to come? When is it going to happen? But a master, a true master, never does. Your guru is your friend, your only friend that's with you. Your master is with you no matter what. You're never alone. You never need feel that I'm leading this life on my own. No, your master is there for you whenever you need, whenever you call. And I asked my guru, Shri Shri, at one time, How do you know when somebody needs your help? He says consciousness is a very strange thing. You have a whole head of hair, but if one hair is pulled, you immediately know. He says, I don't know everything. I never know where I keep my room keys. But if somebody needs something, I know sometimes, not all the time. He's very humble in that way. But there are terrific stories about, they call them guru stories, about how he has known certain things about certain people. And when I went to see Joel Osteen, a few weeks ago, and we were walking out, and his message was very clear: reach for the skies. You've got, don't let anybody hold you back, reach for the skies. And that single message resonated with everyone in a different way. Everybody in that room, 4,000 people, were walking out with smiles on their faces, shaking their heads and sharing their stories. Because that master had reached them in a way that only consciousness allows you to reach, because that drama was going on in everyone's life. Everyone was trying to cross that barrier. And the master somehow reached them. I have interviewed thousands of people. You know what they say? They say that when Shri is in the room and he's talking, it's like he's talking only to them. It is that topic that is touching them the most that day. Sometimes some of you have told me that the topic that I've picked is what has applied to you. It doesn't mean that I'm a master. It just means that everything is so universal. All these problems that we face, all the way we have things going on in our lives, all of us have it. It's the same. It's just a matter of degree. And the ones that are here in this room, we're all so blessed. We're all so blessed. We've got everything we could dream of. Right now, this minute, we could go this minute and we have it all. There is nothing you need. There's nothing that you want. This moment is perfect as it is. If you have a master in your life, you are doubly blessed. Because in the presence of a master, I tell you, I can't even explain. It's like nothing matters. When you go in front of the master, the problems you thought you would ask him about, I have this happening in my life, I'm on this job, my husband needs a job, my sister needs a knee surgery, my mother's sick, all these things that you've got, these problems, you sit and you look at his face and it all disappears. Because that consciousness is so positive. You just don't even think you've got a problem. You think it's all okay. And it is. It is always okay. It is our mind that tells us that things are wrong. We hold on to those things that tell us that it's not right. Oh, you shouldn't be having a headache every day. I don't have a headache right now. So did I ever have one? I don't know. Was that all a lie? Who remembers pain? We don't really remember pain. If we did, we'd never have a second child. Right? Right? So we are blessed if we have a master. And very few of us, for some, you can have a master with whom you can actually sit in the room and chat with. And I believe 30 years ago when Sri started, some of my teachers, my meditation teachers, sat with him like this and chit-chatted and had them stay in their homes. You can't imagine that now. He's got, millions of followers, millions. And they mob him. And literally they have to form a human chain to prevent people from crushing him. Like a rock star, And I don't know that, but still, you're just always, 2 levels or 1 level away from him. When I released my book, I didn't know that I could ever meet him, but I wanted to. I called the secretary. I told him I wanted to meet him, and they arranged a private meeting with me. I sat with him for 15 minutes, and he released the book. He looked at it, and he said, "Oh, you have self-published. You haven't got a publisher yet." First thing he says, I mean, in 1 second. And he scans the book and puts it down. Many people have offered different, when you really are grateful for what you've received, you give back to the person that gave you this. And I am truly grateful to my master. And this book was an expression of that gratitude, because the practices of breathing and meditation transformed my life in ways I cannot imagine. I learned how to write, like it says on my website, from being just a housewife. I'm so many things now. I'm doing so many different things. I'm writing, I'm teaching meditation, I've got creative writing classes. I'm doing so much more than I ever imagined. Besides that, the knowledge, I'm able to practice it. I couldn't do that 10 years ago. It's not for lack of knowing what was it. All my life, and ever since I got married, my husband has encouraged me to read philosophy and to listen to people. But I could never really apply it to myself. I could never really see where my thoughts were coming from, or when that negativity was rising, or when I was saying all those wrong things to myself. But the practices of breathing and meditation allowed me to start practicing this knowledge and to become a better human being, to become more appreciative of life. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. He probably doesn't know me as a person, or maybe he does, and it doesn't matter to me. I'm very grateful that this change came over my life, and today is the day that everybody is showing gratitude to the Master. So I just wanted to share with you all that this is not coming out of a hat, that this is not something that I have discovered. It is generations of knowledge coming through my Master, through me. Whenever I speak to you all, it is that I'm channeling some energy from some Master who wants you all to receive through me. It is nothing that I do. It is nothing that I can hold on to. If I help anybody, it is a blessing for me more than for you. So, always try in this lifetime to meet as many masters as you can. Once, to be in their presence whenever possible. And that experience will be very special. There are many masters. They don't have to be, like I said, heads of churches or heads of... Sometimes they come in very different forms. They come in the form of a social worker or someone doing... You see them in places where they're most needed. And just to be in their presence is just pure grace. So today I bow down to my Master and I thank him for giving me the opportunity to be of service to the 5, 10, 20, 50 people that I'm coming in contact with.
Birthday.
And just join me when we meditate to invoke the grace of the Masters, because it is their grace that allows you to even experience the bliss of meditation. Jai Gurudev.